Robbie had always been a shady character, but I never thought he would take things this far. It was a typical day at work when he called me into his office, twirling a pen in one hand while snapping gum in his mouth. "Can you do me a favor, my guy?" he asks, flashing a smile that makes me squint. "Can I count on you?" I should have said no, but I needed to keep my job. "Yes," I finally say, forcing the word out of my throat. Robbie's smile gets 1,000 lumens brighter before it suddenly vanishes. "Thank you," he says seriously. "This is important for all of us." I leave his office, my mind racing with a dozen possibilities. Only one of them is good. Although good isn't exactly the right word, not in the moral sense. Are those still a thing? Morals, I mean. I thought they were, but now I'm not so sure. As I walk down the hall toward the elevators, I see a homeless man sitting in the corner looking up at me with pleading eyes. He holds out a cup, jingling the few coins inside. I brush past him, not even bothering to spare a glance. That's when it starts. A feeling of unease, like something's watching me. I shake it off and head to the 5th floor of Mephisto's, the hottest club in town. It's where all the big shots go to party, and I need to make connections if I want to get ahead. But the feeling of unease doesn't go away. It only gets stronger as I move through the thrumming dance floor and toward a bar at the edge of the room. I order a drink and try to focus on the music, but the feeling won't leave me alone. That's when I see him, Robbie, my boss, moving swiftly toward the exit with a woman in a sparkly dress. I follow at a safe distance, trailing behind him as he goes all the way down to the 1st level, where he stops and talks to the woman. I wait a few beats before following, stepping outside and looking to see which way they went. I spot them to the right, crossing the street to the next block. That sick feeling in my stomach intensifies as I walk down the sidewalk, eyes fixed on Robbie and the woman. Ahead of me, they turn down a small side street. They must be going to her apartment because Robbie certainly wouldn't live in this part of town. Fingering the knife I always carry, I turn the corner after them. As I'm about to catch up to them, something grabs me from behind. I spin around, knife at the ready, and find myself face to face with the homeless man from earlier. "What do you want?" I ask, my heart racing. The man looks up at me with pleading eyes, holding out his cup. "Spare some change?" he asks. I pause, considering. It's only a few coins, and I have plenty to spare. But as I reach for my wallet, something else catches my eye. A glint of metal in the darkness. I turn back to the homeless man, and that's when I see it. His eyes are glowing with an otherworldly light, and his mouth stretches impossibly wide. He lunges at me, and I lunge back, knife at the ready. The fight is short but intense. I manage to land a few blows, but the homeless man is surprisingly strong. He knocks the knife out of my hand, and I fall to the ground, gasping for breath. That's when I see it. A portal swirling with dark energy opening up behind the homeless man. He grins, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth, and steps through the portal, disappearing into the void. I'm left alone, shaking and covered in blood. The feeling of unease is still there, stronger than ever. And I know, deep down, that I'll never be able to shake it off. I finally got the strength to stand back up. But then, to my horror, the portal reappeared directly underneath me. I immediately fall into the portal. I'm now falling. I have been for a couple hours. Where is this portal taking me? As I'm falling, I see creatures everywhere surrounding me in the abyss. They have twisted forms with elongated limbs, glowing eyes, and grotesque features that defy description. They seem to be aware of my presence, their gaze fixed on me as I plummet through the dark expanse. I try to scream, but no sound escapes my lips. Fear clenches at my chest, and I frantically search for a way to escape this nightmare. As I flail through the void, a dim light emerges in the distance. It flickers and wavers, offering a glimmer of hope. With a burst of determination, I maneuver my body towards the distant light. It grows brighter as I approach, revealing that it's emanating from another portal, much larger and more stable than the one that had swallowed me earlier. I pass through the portal and suddenly I'm standing in a desolate, barren landscape. The sky is a sickly shade of green, and the ground is cracked and lifeless. The air feels heavy, and a sense of dread continues to linger. In the distance, I spot a figure approaching. It's a woman, dressed in tattered clothing, her features obscured by shadows, As she gets closer, I realize that her eyes are the same otherworldly glowing orbs that I had seen in the homeless man back in the city. "Welcome to the in-between," she says, her voice a haunting whisper that echoes through the empty landscape. "The in-between," I managed to choke out, my voice trembling. "Yes, a realm caught between dimensions," she explains, "a place where lost souls and forgotten nightmares wander." I try to comprehend her words, but they only deepen my sense of unease. Am I dead?" She tilts her head, her luminous eyes fixated on me. "Not dead, but not truly alive either. You've crossed into this realm by a twist of fate." I glance around, realizing that the creatures I had seen during my fall are now dotting the landscape, observing me with eerie curiosity. What do they want? "They feed on fear, on the essence of nightmares," the woman answers. "They are drawn to those whose hearts are heavy with guilt and darkness." I think back to Robbie, my boss, and the ominous request he had made. Had my actions somehow led me to this place? The woman's words resonate within me, and I feel a weight on my conscience that I can't ignore. "If you want to escape this place, you must confront your own demons," the woman advises. "Face your fears, acknowledge your mistakes, and find a way to mend the broken path you've tread." As she speaks, the landscape shifts around me, morphing into scenes from my past. Memories of regret, guilt, and missed opportunities flood my mind. The woman's gaze remains steady, guiding me through this introspective journey. I'm jolted awake, gasping for air. I find myself back in my own room, drenched in sweat. Was it all a dream? The memories of the in-between linger, the weight of my actions heavy on my shoulders. Determined to change my path, I decide to confront Robbie and the darkness that had led me down this road. Little did I know that the horrors of the in-between would continue to haunt me, blurring the lines between reality and nightmares as I delved deeper into the secrets that Robbie held. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you like this story and would like to hear more, or you would have liked the story to turn out differently, or maybe have an idea for a spin-off to this story or another one altogether, just let us know in the comments below. There will be more stories to come shortly. As always, thank you for visiting my channel. You are all very appreciated.